Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy Network. It's the end of the year. And when I tell you we needed to have this spectacular woman on this show, we needed her. So 2021 has been challenging to say the least. So we have Misha Mebane. Love
Yes.
that name. Misha Mebane. It just rolls off your tongue. Misha Mebane. She's the founder and CEO of Infrared Vision. What kind of that name alone is telling you she's taking us to the top. So Misha, her mission is to change the mindset of the 40 plus community from fixed to growth. So she wants to make sure that people are truly living and not just existing. Her process is to redefine, rebuild, and restore. Let me tell y'all, that's trademark. So we want you to tap into the program and just bring your sangria, bring your Pinot Grigio, bring your water, bring your beer, whatever it is you need. This is the time for us to have conscious conversations because the world is hurting. People don't know where to turn, especially in the African American community. We don't want to ask people for help. We think we can do it ourselves. Or, okay, don't jump on me now. Y'all think y'all can pray it away. Praying, faith without works is dead. So the Women Are Worthy Network, we are so proud to have Miss Misha Mebane on our show to just talk about things that we need to get through the next steps. So without further ado, y'all, let's give it up for the queen.
All right now. I like being called a queen. I can't even lie. And everybody who is listening, whether you're male or female, you should also call yourself queen and king. You need to reposition your mindset to call yourself what you are.
Tell us a little bit, tell us briefly about yourself. Misha, who's Misha?
Who Misha is. Okay. Misha is just a woman who has been through a lot of adversity, just like a lot of us. And I arrived to my actualization. I call it actualization of myself. I am 55. I don't hide my age because I enjoy the fact that I don't look like it. But I am 55 and I arrived to my actualization. If you ever go out to infrared vision, .org at the age of 43. And I use that as a pinpoint because by that time, my story, I had been through a divorce, a loss of a child. I start a lot of my interviews off this way because it is a pivotal point. I had a couple of job layoffs, just a whole lot of stuff in a short period of time. And my new life began when I moved from Dayton, Ohio to the DMV area because what I left behind was family, friends, an area that I had lived in for 20 plus years, and I hadn't lived too many other places besides Indianapolis, Indiana, where I moved around with my ex husband. But I spent most of my life people pleasing. And if you know about people pleasing, when you're busy pleasing other people, you're not really developing yourself. So Misha is a God fearing woman who her best friend is the Lord. And my instructor and my boss in the last 15 years has been God. I do not shy away from godly principles. I will let you know that I've leaned on them to get up off my face after the loss of my one and only child, all job losses, any transition that I've ever had. So I am just a simple woman, just like you, Jackie, who desires just to be held in the arms of God and just figure out what my next is. And that's what I did at the age of 43, where he helped me redefine, rebuild, and restore. So at the age of 52, I started infrared vision because I was thanking God for my life after a cancer scare and sitting at this very desk. And he started downloading to me about infrared vision, what its purpose was, what he wanted me to do with it. And it really is about you, the public that is listening, less about me, where I'm humbling myself to be used to help the 40 plus community redefine, rebuild, and restore. And the key thing I want to bring out, Jackie, before I turn it back to you, God wants us, the message that I have to bring forth every time I have an interview is that we need to have a infrared vision. People talk about vision, but he gave me the name of infrared vision. And someone mentioned this to me in Tea Talks with Misha a couple weeks ago. The term red is not just a color, but infrared brings heat. And it also, if you get deep into your spiritual self, you will find that if you spend time with God, infrared, the term is the ability to see something in the dark. But we have to, as we evolve in this world, which is getting more complex every single day, we
Mhm.
have to develop not just a vision, but an infrared vision. And the reason why is that if you are operating in life just going around the same old mulberry bush, you have to get into a mindset where you have to have an infrared vision, because in the word, which infrared vision is based off of, is Proverbs 29:18, that people will perish for the lack of a vision. Now I'm going to turn this back over to you, because I want to ask you, why did you think God said people will perish for the lack of a vision? I'm going to turn that back over to you and see what you say.
My response to that is people will perish. First of all, we have the information here. We have it here. So our job, again, you know, faith without works is dead. So
Exactly.
you have to be able, if you're saying, because we do a lot of talking, let's be honest. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be comfortable. Everybody wants to take care of their family. But a lot of people don't want to do the work that it takes. So
Come
when
on.
you said infrared, for me, and I'm gonna be honest, I did a show a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I need to take myself to the next level. What is preventing me from taking myself to the next level? Distractions. I've been distracted lately. So I've been having that laser, infrared, have that focus where if you're not part of my tribe, if we're not like-minded, I don't want to have anything to do with it. So again, going back to that is we don't do the work. That's why we perish. Lack of knowledge. We don't do the research. We're not asking people. A closed mouth don't get fed. What's the word? You have to ask people. That's why you're also part of my tribe, because you're helping me get to the next level by this conversation. So you mentioned to us about how it was born, and. So my question is to you: why do you think people, right, particularly now, people are dying? And people are still existing and not living. Why do you think that's still happening?
Right. So I can tell you've been on my website. So when you hit my website page, it asks you a specific question right then and there. Are you living or are you just existing? And the reason why I can speak on that is because I've been on both sides of the fence. Before 43, my life was just simply a situation where I was just like everybody else. I was told to get a job, find a man, have kids, all those kinds of things. And for me, what was not discussed is, what if that is not you? So for Misha, what is it? What happened is when I tried to become a mother and I lost my ability to have children, or I lost my child. So I lost ability to have children. So everybody doesn't have the white picket fence. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the fact that everyone, even though there's a standard out there in the world, what is it that is going on in your life? I hear a lot of people, like you said, talking about trying to reach a six-figure goal or $1 million goal. And that is really not the key to happiness. Uh, The whole thing about having a fixed mindset is when I was in it, I'm mimicking what I was educated by my family. All right. So if we're all growing up and we're all getting our education and we're all trying to get property, buy a house, get a husband or a wife and have kids, is that really life? Is that really living? No, it's not. It is some standard requirements. But for me, if I tried being married and it didn't work out because I lost my child and we didn't get along after that, so I got a divorce. So that's adversity number one. If you lose the child, and I did, so and the ability to be a mother, then that's number two. That's another set of adversity. So come through that, get on the other side of it, and you have to redefine who you are. I was just having this conversation with a couple people a couple weeks ago. Stop trying to define yourself through titles. When you ask me who Misha is a simple, beautiful queen. Yes, I call myself beautiful. If you don't think you're beautiful, then nobody else will. So, simple, beautiful queen who wants to help people understand that there's more to life than living on a fixed mindset, converting over to a growth mindset, and also living from existing to living, because I've been on both sides of the fence. I will tell you the difference between me now and a growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. Fixed mindset, Misha would have worked for somebody for the rest of her life. Growth mindset, Misha had a conversation with God. He gave her a vision, but I'm set free for the last 6 years. But if you would have asked me 20 years ago, would I have been an entrepreneur? I would have said, Jackie, no, you're crazy. Not me? What? No, because like you said, faith without works is dead. The belief in yourself, the confidence, we all want security. We're afraid to jump the fence and try something new. New, the word new should become a part of your regular vocabulary. People over 40 and 50, I'm not knocking the fact that you may have found whatever it is that you thought, but times are changing so rapidly right now, especially during COVID, that new should become a part of your vocabulary. You need a new skill, you need a new job, you need a new vision, you need a lot of things that are new, that are non-materialistic.
I'm feeling you right there because I can relate to you because I worked in healthcare. I was making six figures, but I started thinking you're making good money, but think about what you're doing, how much money you're making then. That you're even though you're making good money, you should be making more money than that, but you're making them richer. Now, this is not again, this platform is non-judgmental. If you're a 9 to 5er, it's okay to be a 9 to 5er.
Yes, so not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur,
Right,
right?
not everyone. But for me, I wanted more. I wanted to be in charge of my money. So 4 years going on now. When I jumped without a net. God told me to do this, and I listened, and I'm like, and I jumped, and I said, this. And when you want to do something, and if it's, and please correct me if I'm wrong. If this is something God has ordained for you to do, He will bring the resources. He will bring the people. As long as you're doing the work. And for everyone who's watching this, you have that talent. So many millionaires are in the graveyard, right? They've died because they didn't tap into their purpose.
I believe by the time that you are 40 and 50, God has given you enough education, experience, and everything that you need, where a lot of people are definitely not cut out to be an entrepreneur, but you can look at your resume and find out what are my sharpest skills, abilities, and things that maybe I can monetize on. Because for me, I became a CEO of Infrared Vision 3 years ago, but 5 years ago, I looked at my resume because I was tired of looking for a job, and I said, what one skill can I monetize on? and that was sales. So I took my sales abilities and skills and offered it to a company who needed independent contractors to help them grow their business. And now I help them grow their business by $1 million a year. I negotiate the percentage that they pay me. So therefore, I don't have to go work on a day job because I'm negotiating contracts for me.
Mhm.
So, what I want to tell everyone out there is that if you have something burning in your heart and your mind about a skill that you have, and you're tired of looking for a job for someone to see your value, you see your value, you turn it around, and you start calling companies and making yourself an independent contractor or something and saying, hey, I do X very well, and I do Y very well, and I do Z. And this is the service or the skill that I have to offer you. And you monetize yourself.